Hey guys, welcome to the Queendom. This morning, I have to admit, I have a little help from a lot of friends. As I was walking through this morning, and you can see I've cleaned up a lot of things. I took all the radishes out and taken all the bad cucumber leaves off. I've used some little stakes or little clips to put my tomatoes up, things like that. Picked a squash or two. We've got some beans that need picking. Things that's got to be done. But as I listen, I've got little friends here everywhere. And sometimes you'll hear them buzzing around. You'll see them running around. I've got lizards eating things. I've got bees, butterflies, things all over the place. Lizards are usually everywhere. And last week when I was over here doing a few things, I saw a little baby rat. So I know I have a rat somewhere, and I hope I don't find him digging and picking. But the bees come in. I opened the back door. Now we keep the sides rolled up, but we have screen on the sides. The sides stay rolled up 24 hours a day. But at night, we close the vents up high and shut the doors. I come out every morning, open the vent, open the door there, open the vent, and open this door. And up during the day, if it gets too hot, I turn on these fans, this one here and that one on that end. And if it gets too hot, like in the midsummer, it's going to get up to 100 degrees plus in here. I turn that big fan in the end on. I have had to turn it on twice a couple of weeks ago because it got really, really hot and intense right quick. But we don't leave the fans on. For the most part, having these sides rolled up brings in a breeze and it keeps it pretty normal, and having the vents open helps. The wild lettuce, a lot of people asked about it. It is going to seed. So it's got some seeds up there. We're going to be probably harvesting a few seeds, and we're going to check the stalk. This big thick stalk is what they say usually has the medicinal properties in it. So at some point we'll do a wild lettuce video, hopefully. The mums, they popped, but they're not blooming like I thought they would be. The one down further is, but these are just sitting there. We've added some fertilizing stuff to them for blooms, but it seems like it just takes them a while. But once they pop, I've got white everywhere. And I have one on each side. The diva cucumbers, I just trimmed some bad limbs out, but look, it's already going over the trellis here. I think that's amazing. I've harvested about 6 or 8 already, and they're in there. And there's lots of little ones and stuff hanging. Lots of about 1-inch ones up top and stuff. So we're just waiting. And it wants to keep going, and I have to keep training it back. The peppercorns are all doing really great. The potted plants on both sides, and peppercorns on both sides. The flowers and the lavender. The lavender is going to seed. So I'm taking it and putting it around because it's a deterrent. We've got basil in there with the tomatoes. These are the Mountain Vineyard tomatoes. And I want you to look. They just are beautiful. They just hang in little clusters all over the place. And you can see down there I have one turning. I've done picked 2 or 3 off this morning. So, but look at them. This is just beautiful. It got a little warm in here a couple of days ago. I kind of forgot the high tunnel about midday and didn't come do what I needed to with getting the doors opened. I had the vents open, but not the doors. And the tomatoes took a little turn for yuck. They wilted a little, but they're okay. We watered them and got them back. This one, I can't remember the name of this one, but it's a different type tomato. It gets a little bit bigger. It's a medium-sized tomato. I've got to find my packs and see what this tomato was. This squash plant is still producing, and I left it in, but I took the other one out that was in here. Here's a different type of tomato. I don't remember these tomatoes, but this one is, again, going to be a medium-sized tomato. It's not a big tomato. I didn't plant any huge tomatoes in here. We're hoping to get some eggplants in here. I mean, it's trying, so we're going to see if the eggplant works. Like I said, I've got beans. These are, Danny thought it was a Trail of Tears, but it's not. It's the purple green beans, or whatever you want to call them, the purple green beans. These are a mixture, I think. I put some green beans in here, and they'll be coming out. They're blooming now, so we'll see how they do. I took all the radishes up. I got about 6 or 8 radishes, 10 out of all of this, and I just pulled them up. I am not a radish person. This is looking beautiful on one side. The other side hadn't bloomed out yet. It's working on it. These are some type of running butter bean, because you see how it looks there? It's called like a lima bean. It's a running lima bean type thing, and it's blooming big time. Up here we have some bigger shells. So running butter beans on this side. The Malabar I'm training, Danny's going to get me because I've got 3 or 4 in his high tunnel that's looking awesome. But I've got it going up here. I put 3 cucumber plants here that are seeds, and now I've got plants. They'll be the pickling type. I have the diva on the other end. I'm not saving seeds in here. So I will have my pickling cucumbers on this side. And I took the other squash up so that they could grow. Peppercorns, beautiful and green. Now this is a mixture because I planted and nothing came up, so I come back and planted again, something different. So I have butter beans and green beans. Let's see how they do. And then some of my flower color herbs all growing in here, because I can't remember what this is. If you guys know, tell me, because I forgot. Everything's doing great here, but look at this. My popcorn, the Japanese hulless popcorn. I can remember some things I can't, but look, see what I found today? It's fixing to tassel, so I've got to have bees in here, and I heard bees earlier. Within the next week, the doors has got to stay open because it's starting to tassel. Now this doesn't get very tall, but this is 4 foot, so within another foot, it'll probably be 5 to 6 feet tall. But I can't believe it, it's tasseling. So we're gonna have popcorn if the pollinators come in. My little friends have to come in because I was hearing them buzzing earlier. Now over here, the chard is just going to town. It's finally got its roots and it's kicking it. So the chard is doing okay. The mint and the tea tree is doing okay. Again, with some radishes, they're starting. We're gonna see what happens. Our marigolds and carrots. I planted carrots in here, probably a little too thick, and they're getting out of hand, but we'll see. The yellow wax beans will come out shortly. You can see how they start doing. They start looking yucky and don't pollinate sometimes, and they start twisting. They're not pretty and yellow and long. See how they start doing? And they're still blooming, so I'm gonna leave them for a little while and see if something happens. But it's not long, a week or so, the yellow wax beans will come out of here. And this is a Cherokee yellow wax beans. These are Lima beans. Oh my goodness, at the Lima beans in here. We've got beans everywhere. All over the place. Some of them, I don't know how they're gonna do. I think I found some here. Yeah, these are starting to fill out, but they're not quite full. You can see a little bit of pudge here, and you can feel the beans, but we want them a little bit fuller. This one is getting there, but it's not quite there yet. So we may have a few Lima beans, but they're blooming like crazy. And this is my watermelon. It's the little tiny watermelon. It has watermelons on it. I've seen several already. I don't even know where they're at the moment. When I go to hunt these things, they just hide. Like there's one right there. But it's blooming. We've got our pollinators. There's one up there when the bloom opens up. There's one tiny one up there I can see. It's going crazy. It's hooking where it's supposed to, and it's going up, so I don't know whether to take it on up. I was hoping to run it sideways, but it's wanting to go up, and I'm trying to get some of it to go sideways, but I think it's almost too late to turn those, or at least give them time to grow and then turn them so that they'll be on this rail. They just want to keep going up, but I think it's amazing. I got watermelons in here also. So guys, in order to have a greenhouse or a garden outside, you have to have lots and lots of helpers, and we have to admit we got lots of helpers. Not necessarily two-legged kind, but we have the bees, the lizards, even a little rat occasionally that probably eats bugs and insects. There's no telling, but he will eat my plants. So if I find him, he's out of here, but maybe he went out the door. But we have to have help. We couldn't do this ourselves. All we can do is plant and tend it. And the pollinators have to come in. They have to be here, or else you got to hand pollinate. And y'all, I don't hand pollinate anything in here. Not one thing has been hand pollinated in this high tunnel. And it's amazing. As long as the doors and the vents are open during the day and closed at night. Night is when the bad insects come in and try to take over. And you have to be vigilant. You have to make sure, because tomato worms will get in here also. So I have to check every day. Stink bugs get in here. Aphids are a real problem. Because of the moisture and humidity here in the deep south, aphids can come in here. And I've had to take a few plants out, and my eggplant is one that I have to stay on top of. The aphids seem to just love it, so I have to take off bad leaves. I've had to take out garlic. We've never had aphids on garlic and onions, but this year they took over those. And guys, you got to have your insects to help control those, and you have to stay on top of the other insects that you don't want in here. You can see the sun's coming up. We've been out since 6 this morning. I got to go help Danny. Got a little work we got to do. So thank you guys for stopping by the Queen Dome this morning.